Okay, so for our next assignment, we're thinking about how illustration can be a form of communication. And we've kind of explored that a little bit with narrative. Narrative is storytelling, which is a type of communication. Editorial is a type of communication. But this will be a little bit different, really focused on when an illustration is really trying to get the consumer or the audience to do something. So we're going to think about communication and illustration in two main ways in this assignment. And the first one is call to action. So illustration can be used to call the audience to act, whether for a political movement, to consume a product, or just for something fun like listening to your favorite song. So we're going to look at a few different artists. One is Haley Powers Thornton Kennedy. And if you don't know her, she is another illustration faculty here at MICA. Some of her most popular work has been for posters with a call to action. So her posters were developed during the Women's March in 2017, and she created these posters for people to be able to carry with them through the protest. So she has a very specific voice, and she's calling people to action, to act and to be an influence in creating an environment that is inclusive for a lot of people. So like you can see here in this one, it says vote, and it's inviting the audience to act and to be politically active. Other artwork with recent social issues that also sparks a lot of strong art with a strong narrative or a strong story that it's telling. So this work by Kadir Nelson has been really powerful in the last few months. This was a cover for Rolling Stone as a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. And this was another piece for The New Yorker. This is another artist, Robin Banks, and he often uses like vintage style illustration, but he also has a specific message. So he wants you to wear a mask, support the Postal Service. So again, these are fairly political, but he does it in a way that's really fun and catches your eye. Okay, the next aspect of communication we're going to talk about is campaigns. So a campaign is a specific concept to help promote an idea or a product or a brand. And illustrators are sometimes hired to help create a campaign and integrate their style for the brand. So this is Jordan Sondler for Starbucks. She created a simple GIF, and it's definitely done in her style, but it also really promotes the brand and goes with their, specific concepts that they tend to have. This is going back to Haley's work. So after her posters became really popular and well received, her work, part of the reason that people liked it is because it had body positive, body inclusive characters. And that was something that Sephora took notice of, and they hired Haley to do a campaign that was specifically for a body positive message. So she was able to create these images that were then put on display in the Sephora storefront. Okay, this is another illustrator, Laura Callahan. She, I believe, is a European illustrator, and so she's done some work with a few different brands. I know she's worked with Lazy Oaf, which is one of my favorite companies, and she's done this work with Foot Locker EU. So you can see how in this, it's promoting a product, but it's kind of also promoting a lifestyle. And so the product is certainly a part of the illustration, but it's not as much of an advertisement where it just shows the product with some decoration. It's really showing the product in a context. This is another one for the same campaign or advertisement. Okay, so Robin Banks, again, references vintage style advertisements, but he puts his own twist on them with satirical imaginary products. So that's certainly a possibility to have an imaginary product. Okay, this is James Jean, who has worked a few times with Prada. So they invited him to create these large murals that were in the Prada store, but you can see that they were also put onto clothes and other products and included in advertisements. And I believe this is a more recent campaign with Prada. So again, it shows the actual product. You see these shoes, but it's pretty subtle. You know, really his illustration is showing this kind of imaginary landscape, which kind of helps to promote this idea that Prada wants to promote with their own products. Again, the character is wearing some Prada clothing, but the environment is very interesting, very unique. And I think it all goes with what Prada is wanting to depict about what their clothing makes you feel. So you can see that there is a lot of room for playing and experimenting and really showing your own voice, even if you're also trying to promote a certain brand. So for the assignment, you will be able to create a poster with a theme of either a call to action or a campaign. So some examples, if you want to do a call to action, like you saw, it could be very political if you want, but it could also be something fun and light, like take your vitamins or listen to this song that I like. You can also create an image for a campaign. So it could be an illustration for a real or imaginary product, or it could even be an idea like Haley's poster that was promoting a product, but it was also really promoting body positivity. For dimensions, you can choose either 11 by 17 or 12 by 12. For the medium, you can use gouache, acrylic, or digital. If you do use digital, you must include one or more textures that you make yourself. And that will correspond with our texture workshop. So that's it for this assignment. You can find the details about deadlines and the points and other details in Canvas.